The field is set. Here we go for the first of a dozen races. 12 of the best. And the stalls are back. They're off and they're racing as well. And heaps of moolah out near the middle of the line with Desert Edge amongst the first to move from Django Dream being sent forward. And likewise Blaze and Kazar. Now they're going to quickly come across and head off Intervention. Behind them CREZEE swinging by the judge. Miss Anonymity 3 deep for the moment. Surf Point pushing up on the inside of Blazing Tycoon. Then Doctor on Call and His Eminence. And Romilly had no hesitations at all aboard the favourite and dropped this 3-year-old Playfair out to be last as they work up the Matheson Road side of the track. They've gone by Beckett's Gate and over the crossing they step. Desert Edge in front leads the way in the early part by about 3/4 of a length. Blazing Kazar a length and a half. Intervention now on the outside going up to join those in about 4th placing. Django Dream for Dyson turning into the back straight. Then a length and a half to Heaps of Moolah. The same margin CREZEE. A little over a length Surf Point. Followed further back then Blazing Tycoon. The Rail Doctor on Call, closely attended by Miss Anonymity, and further back in the field at the 1200 His Eminence, and still a clear last, and patiently ridden back there is this favourite Playfair. And so it'd be spotting the leader probably about 7 or 8 lengths, maybe even a little more at the 1,000-metre mark. Desert Edge on top leads Blazing Kazar. A length away Intervention third. Django Dream up fourth. A length and a half Heaps of Moolah. Running sixth is CREZEE midfield, heading by the 800. 2 lengths Surf Point down on the inside of Blazing Tycoon. Off the course most of the way is Miss Anonymity and being ridden along. And the last trio, His Eminence, Doctor on Call, and now Romilly starts to stoke up the 3-year-old, although he's still back there last of all on Playfair as they come off the riverside and go to the 500 mark, and breaking the shackles on them now. Desert Edge races more than 2 in front. Intervention, Blazing Kazar calling it quits. Over on the outside, CREZEE being put into it. Now Playfair's right off the course, the widest of them, and still about 7 or 8 lengths from the leader. At the 250, Desert Edge by 3. CREZEE's coming out after it. CREZEE sitting out after Desert Edge. Desert Edge is the leader at the 100-metre mark, a length and a half. On the outside is CREZEE, and Blazing Tycoon coming through. CREZEE hits the front, however. CREZEE has won it from a blanket go for the minor placings. CREZEE won from either Blazing Tycoon, His Eminence, down the outside Playfair, and Desert Edge near the rail. In behind them, Heaps of Moolah, Surf Point, Django Dream, followed further back, Doctor on Call, Miss Anonymity, Intervention well back in the field. Blazing Kazar beaten before the home turn. CREZEE gets the money. Holly Watson. It's been 821 days to be precise. CREZEE, the last time it won, 821 days ago, but it was the fit horse. It was well placed by Greg Kersley this afternoon, coming back from a 66 plus to a 50 plus. Wins from that blanket finish for second and third. For His Eminence, Troy Turner gets the nod for second. Not sure about third though, they're still deliberating. 2:17.91 being the time. 2:17.91. Well, Desert Edge had snapped clear at the top of the straight. Intervention was a shot duck at that stage, but you could see CREZEE keep coming under the vigour of Holly Watson. And with the shillelagh in the left, she rode desperately. CREZEE getting there in the final couple of strides, and the wall building behind them with His Eminence, Blazing Tycoon. Playfair left its run too late back there near the tail of the field and very wide on the home corner. Third goes to 6 Desert Edge, and fourth number 3 Playfair. So the favourite misses out. And it's a half a length the short head. The margins 9, 4, 6 and 3. CREZEE, after being out of the winners list for such a long time, had been building. His form lately had been okay, and he found himself in the absolute right race today. By God Has Spoken, out of Havana City, and owned and trained by G.J. Kersley. Second money going the way of His Eminence by Blackfriars out of Bonnie. Troy Turner for Colin Webster. And third, 6 Desert Edge by Fiorente from More Than Edgy. Chris Parnham, the rider for Dan Ben Pearce, 37.26. The last 600, a real grind to the line. Race number 2 is the Schweppes Handicap over the 1200 journey. The next at 29 after 12. And they're all going to run in the next as we take you down now into the yard. Lockie Taylor is with us, and with winning owner trainer Greg CREZEE, who certainly picked the right race for this horse to bounce back into the winners list this afternoon.
He did, Darren. Thank you very much. As Greg joins me now, Greg, a 66 plus, sharply back in grade. Whilst the horse hadn't won in a long time, he looked like he had finally found a suitable assignment.
Yeah, his runs up until the last one, when I think he was ridden out of his comfort zone, were all good. You know, he showed he was sort of on the way up, and yeah, they were all good up until then.
In the run, were you always happy with where he was today?
I was happy with where he was. It just looked like he wasn't travelling at different stages, but that probably meant they were running along, which was going to suit him, because one thing he can do is stay.
Clearly, Holly had to lift him over the line at the final 200 metres, and it's fair to say it's a fairly even bunch these days, but Holly made sure she got every last little inch out of him.
I think Holly was the difference today. She's been in really good form lately, and we were lucky to get her on him today. I think she might have been the difference.
Where to next for him?
Back home, give him a feed and see what happens. I'm not sure. Like, he just find another staying race for him somewhere. But look, he's the deal's done now. He's an old horse who's won a race this prep, so very happy.
You'll enjoy the win regardless. Well done.
Thank you.
There's Greg CREZEE after the win of CREZEE. Hasn't won in some 821 days, but looked like he had found a suitable assignment on paper, Scott, and so did the punters, because he was $8 into around $6.50, $7 late, and Holly Watson continues her fantastic form in the saddle.
Well, you may have hit the nail on the head there, Lockie. It may have just been the followers of Holly Watson at the moment. She's riding plenty of winners midweek, provincials, country, and even here in the metro area. She's having a great time of it at the moment. She's got a pretty handy book today too. I would imagine that this will show you will go quite well. You'd imagine also that Stormaway, Mitch Pateman's debutant, has something to offer in the 2-year-old race on debut. So it is a nice book of rides for Holly Watson again here today, and she's on the board in the opener. 9, 4, 6 and 3. CREZEE too strong for his eminence back in third, Desert Edge. Favourite in fourth in Play Fair. Holly Watson has just weighed in, and then she's about to jump in and grab a word with us. Holly, these 50-plus staying races, they can turn into a bit of a war of attrition, and that was exactly the case there.
Yeah, he just wasn't travelling all that strong. Sort of had to put him into the race because nothing really took me into it, but I thought he fought on strong.
Whip in the left too, he seemed to respond nicely.
Yeah, he just wanted just to lug in a little bit, but once I put it in the left, he found a lot.
Got a difficult quiz question for you. Do you know the last person to win on this horse?
Patrick Carberry?
Good guess, Peter Hall. That's how long it's been. Hawley was the last person to win on this horse, so been a while, but a deserving win.
Yeah, thank you, Scott.
Congratulations.
There's Holly Watson combining with Greg CREZEE and CREZEE. I don't mind that from you, Scotty. The last person to win on CREZEE before Holly Watson in the Secor handicap, the one and only Peter Hall, who is one of our apprentice coaches here in WA. But CREZEE takes out the opener, and on the other side, we're going to learn a little bit more about Rocky Chung and catch up with Brad Parnham, courtesy of an interview from SEN's Giddy Up.